we got Revsaysdesu talking about the Ubisoft value plummets as the Gears of War producer slams the choice of Yasuke as the main protagonist. All right, let's go.
I think everyone knows it's been a very rough year for Ubisoft. They've had flop after flop, whether it's Skull and Bones, Prince of Persia, X Defiant, Star Wars Outlaws. The list goes on and on.
Oh,
They've
yeah,
been
so
struggling mightily.
oh,
So it's
dude,
not surprising.
hang on, pause this really quick. Isn't like Star Wars Outlaws like dead? Like there's like no people on Star Wars Outlaws right now. Cause I remember I think like a developer did say like, oh hey guys, did you know like there's this secret thing that on this activity you do, if you do so many of them, you get like something pretty unique. And I'm like thinking just like wouldn't someone on YouTube posted that like day one? Am I not wrong? Usually people post that stuff right away. They're like, "Oh my god, I found something," and you post it out there so people can start doing the same thing too. You know, like sharing the information. I never saw anything on that. But to be honest, I don't see any kind of like gameplay, or maybe it might be there. I just might have to look for it. But I mean, the game doesn't look that like appealing, mainly for the fact that it's Ubisoft and they got you very comfortable of not owning your own games, which I still think that's probably like the dumbest decision ever. It's like, wait, but I paid like $60 for this game, so they'll delete my save data and the game, and I have to buy it again and do everything over again. I'm sorry, but I like that is something I just can't have. I'm sorry. I know some people actually got pissed at me for saying that actually. Like I'm like, okay, cool. But I mean, like, you get like the end of the day, you don't own your games. How would you feel like if I take away your game and delete your save data of your favorite anime game that you're like, oh my god, I'm almost at that scene where I can like if I get to do this, you know, blah 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 will happen. How would you feel like if I delete the save data and take your game and so then you have to pay me like $60 if you want to get back? No save data included. I'd be pissed. I'm
To
just
see
saying.
the stock of this
Oh
year
dear
for
God.
Ubisoft taking a major hit. Now, what a lot of people don't appreciate is that it's not just been a bad year for Ubisoft, it's been a bad
Ooh.
couple of years. If you look at the stock over
Ooh.
the last 5 years, it's been brutal. It's been on a steady decline
Ooh.
pretty much that entire period. So it's not too surprising that there is a
Ooh.
buyout looming. It's
That's
not a
kind of
matter
bad.
of if they're
Actually,
going to
that's
get
very
bought out,
bad.
it's a matter of when at this point. And it's
Man,
ironic
2021 they
for
had their
the
fall off,
studio who has an executive who told
which I'm
gamers they
actually
need to get
surprised.
comfortable with not owning their games. Well, they're going to be getting used to not owning their own studio pretty soon. Now, it doesn't surprise a lot of people to
Damn.
see that the Ubisoft value tanks. Market cap dropped by 85% from 2021 to 2020.
Oh my god. 85%. Holy shit. You know, I'm just going to say this. Like, if Ubisoft cared to listen to the player base, and instead of delivering like the same old generic thing and actually like and the thing is they have games like the Tom Clancy's that they like have the IP for to make the video games off of it, and a lot of them are based off his books that I have read. Like just like, what, the lion can read? No. Well, but yeah, no, like they don't do that anymore. Like they haven't done like, was it like Splinter Cell in fuck, like shit, when was the child, when did they do Splinter Cell last? Like it's been so long. Like and there's a lot more they can do with that because there are books for that. And then they got like the Division, which is also inspired by the same thing from Tom Clancy. You know, it's from the same book, right, but different book, but it's still there. And I'm right here just like, what? But like, what happened to all of that? And then Ghost Recon, and it's just like the games that people want to play, they don't want to make because of XYZ reasons. And I'm thinking like, but people are asking for these games, like, oh, when they're going to do that? It's like Assassin's Creed is like Like you get that every year essentially. You get an Assassin's Creed like almost every year, and people are gonna get tired of it. I'm sorry, like, and I know they're pushing off like Assassin's Creed or still pushing on for Assassin's Creed Shadows, but like chat, they already made an Assassin's Creed like what, like a year or two ago, is what it feels like. And I mean, you're just going to get like the same thing, but like different reskin instead of waiting like 8 years, you know, what you should do in a video game, since they have like so many games right there, but they don't want to do it. I don't know why. What people are asking for is like, hey, could you make this game? And then they got offended over it. Like, hello, I'm just asking, just, you know, Tom Clancy game, or like a new Watch Dogs game that is not complete dog shit. Because I mean, they had the first one, the first Watch Dogs. I will say, like, it was not that great. It was not that great. They really were doing the illusion of it could be great, but it really wasn't. And that's actually a very good, like, you know, Watch Dogs, like the whole thing that kind of goes on with it. The concept and everything was really nice. It was just the execution was just very, very poor on that right there. The second one, they got it better. They got that one way more better. But then they did the third one. Like, I think they realized, like, okay, we got to do the execution a lot more better. But if I were to look at the story for Watch Dogs 2, I would think it's better. It's not the best thing that they've made. Like, you know, if I compare it to Watch Dogs, the first one, and then 2, I'd say it's better. But it's not the you know, the full, like, oh no, this is like, you know, this is cinema right here, you know. It's not that. It's far from that, but it's better than the first one, which is saying a lot. But then they did the third one and they just fucked it up completely, and I don't know why they decided to do that right there. That was just like, that was like the worst idea. And it's like I always say, third time's the charm. And that's for a lot of stuff. Third time's the charm.
25.
But 85%.
That is the headline here from That Park Place, and it is a really brutal situation. It's a lot worse than many people had thought. So over the past year alone, we have seen the market cap decrease by nearly 43%. 43% market cap decrease in 1 year. In fact, looking overall,
85%, dude, that's like more. Oh my god!
In the gaming industry, Ubisoft has experienced a dramatic and concerning decline in value over the past 4 years. From a market capitalization of $12 billion in January of 2021, the company's value has plummeted to a mere $1.78 billion by January 2025. That decrease from $12 billion to just under $2 billion is shocking. It is shocking. I mean, yeah, everyone knew Ubisoft was in trouble. Everyone knows that. But that drop is just unprecedented. And for a lot of studios, right, they have one game go badly, they might be shutting their doors. However, Ubisoft, like they said, they were once a titan in the industry. They had a lot of room to play with. It wasn't going to be one game like Skull and Bones that was going to be their dismantling. But they've had so many flops that eventually it's caught up to them. You know, eventually they're going to run out of money. People are going to stop investing in them, and it's going to all collapse. And of course,
I mean, I stopped investing in them in their games.
There's only really one project that they can put their hopes into, their Hail Mary pass, if you will, and that is Assassin's Creed Shadows, which is mired in many different controversies. People are predicting, not is it going to flop or not, it's a matter of how hard is this game going to flop, and it's getting so bad that people in the industry are now questioning,
it's like I said,
what decision
it's another Assassin's Creed game. Make something different.
And in particular on the Assassin's
That's
Creed
not like
Shadows
Far
team,
Cry, or I mean, do like the original Far Cry. Go back to that.
Here's a headline from Phantom Paul saying, Gears of War executive producer baffled why Ubisoft chose to make Assassin's Creed Shadows with Yasuke as main protagonist. And also she'll express
Japan's still not forgiving Ubisoft for that, by the way,
as to why they even took this project
have made
on
that
in the first place. And who we're referring
clear.
to is Laura Fryer, who is an absolute giga chat, if you will. She is someone who is very experienced in the industry and also has been very vocal about a lot of the issues going on in the modern industry right now. And this video is a great example of that. I will put a link to it in the description if you want to check out the full video and your other takes. But we're going to play a small section here regarding Assassin's Creed Shadows and some of their decisions.
After having those experiences, I'm baffled about some of the things I'm seeing today. Did any of the executives at Ubisoft question whether or not doing Assassin's Creed Shadows was a good idea? I've been to Japan many times. I've worked with Namco as the producer on Revenge of Arcade, and during Xbox, I managed a team there. I love the people and the culture, and based on that experience, I would never have agreed to do this game, because even if you handled it as delicately as possible, it's easy to make a mistake. And I think they have. The game isn't even out, and it's already mired in controversy, and this isn't.
By the way, they actually said that wrong. Like, when he was writing that word, it's just one word, and he actually did it wrong, because I actually found this out, because I do want to go to Japan at one point. I also got to learn how to read, so especially when it comes to that one, but I don't think that will ever pop up. But in the eventuality, if it were to pop up, I know how it goes. So, you know how we write, like, we read a book from left to right? We know it's like opposite for people in Japan. They do it the opposite way. And same thing if we write, you know how we write working from the top? For that one, they work from the bottom going up. Yeah, I know, it's fucking crazy, right? You're just like, wait, what? Yeah, I found that out. I was like, damn. So basically, when you go to Japan, think everything is like reversed, you know? Everything's just essentially reversed. Like almost everything. Not everything. I mean, the roads are different too, like opposite. So I guess you could say that. I mean, but that's in Europe though. I think in US, like for people in the US, you'll probably be like, okay, think everything opposite of what it should be. Almost everything. And then you'll be fine. Also, learning the language too helps out, so.
Blow over and they'll be able to navigate this. But if not, that was a very expensive experiment.
Yeah, very well said as usual, Laura Fryer. But
yep,
you can see,
facts. Always expensive.
If you do actually respect
they don't know that
you're trying to represent,
don't tell them, chat.
With a potential game release,
they should know that.
Sometimes respecting that culture is saying no, and that is something that clearly Ubisoft doesn't care about with Assassin's Creed Shadows. They clearly have not respected the era, feudal Japan. They haven't respected the history, the culture.
Dude, they don't even respect their player base. What do you think they're going to respect about like the culture of another country?
Situation with the merch, how does that happen if you have any respect for Japanese culture? And in this case, they took on an unnecessary risk by just taking on Assassin's Creed Shadows in general, and also the choice of protagonist or co-protagonist with Yasuke, which is a reflection of their lack of appreciation for Japanese history and Japanese culture.
You know, I'm just going to pause it right there. You know, it's crazy that, you know, we just finished up the main story from Ghost of Tsushima. And the devs that were there at the time, because, you know, those people are no longer working with that studio. The people who were there, like, those people from that studio, those people are, like, just monumentalized in Tsushima, the island of Tsushima, which is crazy because that's actually an island. Yeah. So they were recognized to be what was like lords for the day over there. And I honestly thought that was pretty cool. And then they got like all these tributes and all this kind of stuff right there. And that game was like well liked in Japan. I think Ghost of Tsushima is still like one of the best games that is showing like Japanese culture at that time. And as well as talking about history too that happened in time, you know, the protagonists, you know, Khan, or, you know, that guy that went through all like conquering like everywhere. You know, that guy was like, I'm going to conquer this place. I'm going to conquer that place. We just, you know what? Just conquer. That's essentially it. With like the Mongols and all, you know, it's like, I honestly thought that was pretty good, you know. And the fact that, you know, you were the last samurai in Tsushima for the time being. And, yeah, no, it's like, it's a really good story. I don't want to go into it, though, especially for a lot of you guys that haven't played it. But I highly recommend playing Ghost of Tsushima if you're looking for, like, an Assassin's Creed-like game. Because essentially, that game, you can be a samurai and actually be an assassin at the same time. Like, you know, going like a ninja, essentially. That's actually pretty cool that you have the flexibility for both playstyles, and it works perfectly. Yeah, Ubisoft has to do 2 different characters on there. One's a samurai and one's a ninja, but they can actually infuse it into one, like Ghost of Tsushima. But they didn't. God, I do not know why, but they kind of, that, like, I'm just saying, like, it could work, chat. They just don't want it to work. And again, it's Ubisoft. They haven't been working for quite some time. It's clearly said, like, they lost more than 80% over the past few years. And I think, like, for 1 year, they said, like, they lost, like, half of that. And it's like, oh, it's kind of it's kind of concerning right there. But I honestly feel like if you were going to get Assassin's Creed Shadows, I think you should give Ghost of Tsushima a shot. Because I actually gave it a shot. I was very reluctant because I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to do this. Because, a lot of the stuff that goes on. But, I went in and got it anyway. And I'll be honest with you, and it's really good. The story is probably like the best story. And you know what the crazy thing is? You have options that you can choose. Like, you can choose dialogue on there. Like, most games don't even like to do that anymore from the West. And I don't know why. It's like they don't want to have too many options and choices in every video game. It's just, I don't know. I just can't wrap my head around that. I mean, like, we have like games that are like that I haven't gotten into yet, and I don't know if I want to actually get into. And that's like, was it like Dungeons and Dragons? Where you have all those choices. What was it called? Like Dragon Age. Dragon Age is like that Veilguard thing right there. I know I saw people playing like the previous games of that, but I honestly don't want to even give it a shot anymore because it's like I just see like all that bad stuff going on with it, and just it's kind of weird, and I just don't want to get into that like mess right now. But yeah, no, like that game has lots of options, and yet they can't do that in every game. I think that's good. That actually adds in story dialogue into like a lot of stuff. Like, it customizes your story the way how you want it to go in every video game. And I think that's probably like the best thing in a video game, like not having everything just laid out in front of you, like, oh, you're just watching it. I mean, sometimes that's good. You can throw it in every once in a while, but I think people just like to have the options of freedom of choice, Again, I don't know why the West doesn't like to do that, but like, you got like all of this, when games do that, they do very good. Well, I'm not going to say like all the time, but like, like sometimes it's, if the story's good, people are going to obviously play like, Black Myth Wukong, like stuff like that. But I'm getting like, sidetracked on that right there. But I'm just saying, like, this is how it should be for making video games.
I want to play one more section because it relates to not only Assassin's Creed Shadows, but also a lot of other games in the current industry. And I think this is a take that represents what a lot of people like myself and other YouTubers have been saying for some time. So it's nice to hear someone from the industry confirm and put a little more punch behind it than the usual people like me saying it.
If you haven't heard, the art director of the game Avowed, which is set to ship early next year, decided to post some comments publicly about his game. Apparently, there are pronouns in the game, and Elon Musk reacted on X, saying that having pronouns in a fantasy video game is utterly unacceptable.
That's the one time of few times. I mean, it's just one time of very few times right there, I should say. I can agree with Elon on that right there. Why do you have pronouns in a video game? It's not like this is like a dating website. Then again, I would not probably date anybody I see online. I don't trust the online dating thing. That place is crooked as fuck.
To which the art director responded, I wanted so
just
badly
ask the person,
to
hey,
make
are you single?
with my game,
you want to go and eat at Olive Garden?
Just wait
they say
until
no,
you see the default,
or you're like, oh no, I'm not single. And you're like, okay, bye, have a good day.
Baffling. Does he know Elon personally? Why does he want to?
You got to respect the homies, though. If they got
Why
that.
Why would you say this to someone who is easily one of the most controversial people on the planet, and therefore has millions of people reading his posts? This interaction may be the one impression that people will ever have of the game Avowed.
True. So yeah, she's talking about the game Avowed, and Obsidian And this is a situation we covered
I
a
see
few
that
weeks
right
ago
there
where
inside all that stuff.
really one person is tanking the reputation and the potential of the game and the studio developing it because they couldn't help their derangement syndrome with Elon Musk. Okay, you don't like Elon Musk? Fine. But making a game to spite him?
I don't like
That's
people who like
insane.
pineapple
And it's a
pizza, but you
huge
know what? I still hang out with
turnoff to a
Roku.
lot of people because anytime
Just
art
kidding.
is made out of
I'm just
spite for
joking.
someone else,
I'm just
you know it's
joking.
going to be
Yeah, I'm just
absolute
joking. Roku does love
garbage.
pineapple pizza.
And that sort of sentiment
Be very
that
careful
she
of
just
her.
expressed is something, like I said, that I've been saying over and over again. It's proven itself so many times in recent years, especially in 2024.
I miss my
A lot of
dingo.
people are going to judge a book by its cover. They're going to take one glance at something,
Has it been
one
on for
glance at a
13
game,
days?
and that's probably going to be the deciding
13
factor
nights.
of whether or not they support it. We
15
saw that
minutes
with
and 6
Avowed. A lot
seconds.
of people will not be buying this game or even giving it a chance after seeing those comments from the person on their team. We've seen other games have a similar situation where a community manager or a developer said something disparaging about gamers, and then that game tanks because people do not want to support a product coming out of that sort of environment. And we've
Wow, who would have guessed though, chat? You saying, you suck. And it's like, what? You heard me, you suck. What's your name? Tony. Fuck you, Tony. Well, fuck you too then. And then they just leave. And it's like, wait, what? I need you to buy my game. No, fuck you. And then they just walk off into the sunset. Plays like, beautiful music and very sad music as they walk into the sunset, never coming back. And he's like, shit. I'm not. Maybe I should not open with that first. Another person comes by. It's like, hey, yeah, what's your name? Bob. Fuck you, Bob. You suck dick. And it's like, what? You heard me. And blah 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 too. And then the same thing happens again. It's like, oh fuck, damn it. And I lost another sale. Shit. Okay, this time for sure it will work. Hey you. As if someone else comes on. What's your name? It's like, and it goes back to the same thing, and it just gets even worse and worse insults every time. And you're really just like, dude, come on. Like, it's like, if someone's gonna call you like an ungrateful blah 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 because you play video games and I'm making the video games, so you're a butt, then I'm like, cool. I'm gonna play some Azure Lane and we're gonna watch some anime titties with the homies. Good luck trying to sell that game and keeping your studio afloat, bro. And then you just fade off into the like sunset again, blah 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 blah. It's like, if someone's calling you like all these horrible stuff, why do business with them? And at the end of the day, what they do to us, they say, it's like business. We're doing this for the business and blah 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 blah. You know what I'm just gonna say to all the people who play video games that have just loved a lot of the games that are unfortunately coming out right now from AAA development and all that kind of stuff, that they're still trying to hold on to it like, their dying breath essentially is what's going on. They're going to hold on until this belief, until their studio is shut down and they're living in a cardboard box like Squidward from SpongeBob SquarePants in that one episode, asking for spare change. Because we're not going, like, at the end of the day, we're going to walk away. And then they're going to get upset. And they're going to be like, what happened? And this is all I'm going to say, though. When I see, like, if Ubisoft were to shut down and they complain about that, I'm just going to say, well, Ubisoft, that's unfortunate. It's just business. Because that's how businesses fail, chat. I'm just saying, you gonna call someone all these horrible things, telling them if you like this, you're this. No one in their right mind is gonna come back. It's just how it is, and then they act surprised.
We've seen that with controversial opinions, or I should say, hateful opinions, where people are expressing their hatred of gamers or mocking them or what have you.
God,
but we've seen other examples where even more benign but poorly worded comments have tanked the potential of a game. And the best example is something we recently covered as well, and that is Indiana Jones in the Great Circle. This is a game.
Okay, hang on, pause right there before Rev goes into this. I know he's gonna say this, but okay, chat. I'm not coping, but Indiana Jones. I know I had that rep right there, but you wanna know what? Okay, that was a little bit of cope right there when I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get this game. The game actually has the one thing that you guys probably would be very surprised about, and they actually have the Nazi symbol right there. You know, the tilted thing that they actually had from that they took and made it now the sign of hate. A lot of people don't know that, but you know that like that thing that they have that the Nazis wear, then they just angled it. That's actually, if you turn it like, you know, if you keep it like completely flat, that's actually like the symbol of like, what is it, like it's something from like Asia. I don't know. I want to say it's like for like inner peace or something like that right there, but it's supposed to be something that is supposed to be like something for peace. But you know, the Nazis, you know, twisted it, so it's no longer associated with that, and that's insane that I know this stuff. Again, I told you guys, like, major's my like the major that I have in that is history. That's where I know all this crazy stuff right there. I'm just always asking questions and just wondering how that shit goes, you know? So I just dig deep. But yeah, no, Indiana Jones, they actually kept that true to the IP. I know the last two movies were not that great. However, so like the franchise was already kind of just God, but I you know, I still enjoyed those movies. I would not say they were the best, but I said they're, you know, they're okay. They're okay. But Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, I'll be honest with you, that is the best game right there. It sucks that people don't even want to give it a shot because of, you know, and I think I know what he's going to say. I really hope he doesn't say it's like, oh, just because of this right there, I'm going to be kind of sad. But I think it's just what they said, like talk about modern audience, that, you know, they could have worded that differently and had someone else say that too, just to avoid, you know, anything bad happening, because this game's actually really good. I would definitely be playing on my off time, just that, you know, I'm busy like with work, and I'm also like well, I'll talk about that later on, but it's this game is really good. Like, I honestly think you should give it a shot, because I actually have that. It has the stuff that is from the, you know, the first few Indiana Jones, like the stuff that you'd be like, oh, why did they put this in here? You know, things that people will get offended over. That's in this game. I mean, they did have to put fascists because there's like a lot of fascists in there. So they just, I guess they're just lazy, but they didn't want to put like, oh, Nazi or that. And it's like, well, the Nazis are fascists, but it's like they could have put that, but that really wasn't nothing, because it did talk about, like, you know, Nazis. It talked about the Italians with Mussolini. And then it also went with the Japanese, them attacking, you know, like, if, you know, like, if you didn't know, like, the Chinese, you know, were targeting, you know, people, not in military installations, people in the beginning of like World War II. And so it's like, that was there too. So it's like, ooh, that's a lot of stuff right there that people would not want to put in their video games, but it's in there. But people are not going to give it a shot now, though, and I'm okay. You know, it's like, just now it's just like talking to a wall, but, you know, it is what it is on that at the end of the day. I still like this game, though. This game is pretty good, but I know people won't give it a shot because of the rep, though. But it's all right. We just carry on.
Obviously working on a beloved IP that is underwhelming in terms of its results. It's not doing as good as
I know
they had hoped when they developed this game. That's just a fact. These numbers aren't Concord level failures, but it's just not good for a game that clearly had a lot of investment in it, and it's, again, sharing a beloved
as I said to you guys, they put the stuff that people won't want in the game
that are only getting lower.
They kept it true to that the first one.
Now, why did people get so angry with this game and not give it a chance? It came down to one sentence.
Yep.
One sentence from a senior narrative designer.
Could have got someone different.
Made this comment about the modern audience, making this game for the modern audience, that was baked halfway through a showcase video released about a year ago.
Again, told you.
This is it.
Could have done it better.
Because of the
could have done
lack
fucking better
of marketing for this game, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle had almost no marketing. So a lot of people, this was their first and only impression of this game, and then they said no. And they had no interest in giving it a second shot. So what she was saying is definitely true. And the irony of this particular situation is that the game's not even woke. People were afraid the game was going to be woke based on this sentence alone. The game came out and it wasn't even woke. In fact, a lot of people were pleasantly surprised with the game. It was something that they considered the best thing to come out of the IP in a long time, especially given the failure of the last 2 movies. So yeah, what a wasted opportunity. It didn't solely cause the game to flop or something, but it
I like the Indiana Jones stuff. That's why I was surprised. I thought it was going to be bad.
One bad look. And in that case, not even a truly malicious one,
be worse
like
than
other
the last
examples
two,
we've seen,
like
but
the movies.
still, it was enough to derail the potential of that game. Now
Also,
let's go back to some other derailments of potential success. This is not obviously the only Assassin's Creed
horrible AI-generated artwork.
Assassin's Creed game in works. Shadows isn't the only one. We also have this codename Hex game coming out in the...
No. Rev, you got it wrong. Hex. It's not Hex. It's Hex-E. Hexy. Heexy? I don't know.
Next couple of years, and we're getting some initial looks, the first glances at this game. These are officially confirmed previews of the game, and here's some of the highlights. It's going to be a very different upcoming flagship of Assassin's Creed. It's going to feature strong feminine energy.
All right, I've seen enough.
On top of that, it's going to be set in Central Europe in the 16th century, and basically it's going to be dealing with the mass hysteria about witchcraft.
What? What? Huh? What? Um. That sounds kind of that sounds kind of lame. Not gonna lie. I'm just saying, like, so that's why they had an AI generated picture of some woman holding a sparkly little orb. Ah. Still sounds kind of lame though, not gonna lie. Also, the fact they had to put that set in Central Europe in the 16th century, focusing on the blah 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 blah, the hysteria of witchcraft, and leading to the of 80,000 people who were executed. You know, in all honesty, I could be a dick right now and tell them, oh my god, they're talking about when 80,000 people were like falsely executed. Sometimes you just got to play dirt how they're gonna, like, chat. If they're gonna throw dirt in my soup, I'm gonna throw dirt back in their soup. I'm gonna say that, but I'm not gonna say that. Please don't do that, chat. I'm just joking on that. Please don't do that. I mean, that's what they're doing to us, though. But you see, I have something that they don't. It's called common courtesy. I'm not gonna tell them that shit. Now, if they start saying, like, blah, 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 then maybe I might reconsider that. But right now, I'm still going to hold true to that belief for a little while longer. Being just courteous and all that. Just like, okay, I just take my money somewhere else. That's usually one way to hurt people in the people who are being butts, chat. Hit them where it hurts. Hit them in the wallet. That's how you get your message across. The line is spoken. Their wise words of wisdom. Yep.
Oh boy. This sounds like Agatha all along, like girl boss witches, okay?
Agatha.
This is going to be a very controversial game. You can already tell. Like,
I didn't even watch that.
Assassin's Creed Shadows.
I didn't even know they made that.
That didn't even exist, right? No controversy surrounding that. All of it wiped away.
So, like,
this would still be
few weeks ago, I found out there was like a thing called Agatha all along.
People are wary of a 16th century setting having strong feminine energy. It seems like some virtue signaling going on. But now that we live in reality where Assassin's Creed Shadows did happen,
need to put that out there.
We know Ubisoft is more than willing to pick a protagonist for virtue signaling points. They've made it very clear. So now this is taken with a completely different look than maybe if Shadows didn't exist. But yeah, like I said, no matter what, this would have been met with skepticism. And for a lot of people, they will read this line featuring strong feminine energy as directed to an Assassin's Creed title, and they're going to say, nope, no thanks. And it just shows the lack of awareness. They have no pulse on gamers whatsoever. And again, you can like that, you can dislike that, but there is definitely something to be said about featuring strong feminine energy in an Assassin's Creed title. And right now, Ubisoft is just hitting all the wrong buttons. And this isn't the only controversy they're facing with Assassin's Creed titles. Also, Assassin's Creed Origins is facing its own controversy right now. This game is about 7 years old. Very well liked.
Oh, wait. Assassin's Creed Origins? Yeah, it's 7 years old. I thought Origins was pretty good when it first came out. I mean, I didn't go back in there after I played. I was like, wow, it's set in Egypt. I liked the Egypt chat. Also, I always wanted to like visit and see the pyramids when they were first formed. Because I think they did like some kind of like scientifical thingy-majingers. And they kind of put it to how it would have looked like a long time ago. And I was like, wow. Those pyramids. You know, it's crazy that, you know how they said like that pyramid in Egypt, one of the pyramids in Egypt, actually has 5 sides. You can actually go on the pyramid, and if you use that like that camera feature setting on there, they actually show all 5 sides like from that one pyramid, and you're just like, what? Like, dude, I thought that was pretty good detail right there. That's crazy that the pyramid has 5 sides to it.
Game, but
Witchcraft.
It's getting review bombed recently. So as reported by Game
5 sides.
Here,
yeah, no, you guys didn't know that. No, like, look, I'm not joking with you. Hang on. Yeah, no, the pyramid has 5 sides. Pyramid in EGY. Yeah, the pyramid, the Great Pyramid. Hang on, I forgot which one it was. A pyramid does not have sides, but there was actually one of them where if you look at it, one of the pyramids from a satellite view actually is showed to have 5 sides. Like there was like a part where they have right there. I don't know. I forgot which one it was though. Oh no, here, this is it. Not 5 sides. I don't know why I was thinking that. Hang on, open image. Where is it at? Hang on, I'm trying to find it. Hang on, I'll just click on that. Yeah, see, look. The pyramid, it's not 4-sided. It's 8-sided, not 5-sided. Sorry. Yeah, see, like I told you, like if you go on there, you can see that. That's so weird, isn't it? Right? That's fucking crazy. Like I know the pyramid does not. If people ask, does the pyramid, the Great Pyramid of Egypt, have 4 sides? Tell them no. It does not have 4 sides. It has more than 4 sides. That's so weird. I don't know why I was thinking 5. But like, dude, that's so, look, that's so crazy. Look at that. It's just going across right there. And you can't even see that from the ground. Like, just from the ground, like from this view, like you can't even tell. It's like when you go up onto that satellite view right there. You see that. I thought that was pretty cool when you go on the when the pyramid and use the camera view, you get to see the extra sides. I don't know, I was thinking 5 sides. I don't know why. But that's crazy though, isn't it?
Creed
I wonder why
Origins,
it's going down though. Like,
from
because
Ubisoft's flagship franchise is receiving a large number.
I thought that was a pretty
of
cool
negative
detail they
reviews,
added in though in this game.
They categorize this as review bombing, and you can see the absolute state of gaming journalism. 3 likes on an account with nearly 100,000 followers. And this is an hour, basically half a day, over half a day. It's just brutal out there for games journalists. But what they say here is that now, as if the Assassin's Creed series didn't already have enough working against it, Assassin's Creed Origins, a 7-year-old game, is getting review bombs for a recent update that is bricking the game for a lot of people and causing black screens, flashes, and freezes for many others. And if you see some of the evidence here, yes. It is getting a lot of negative reviews, but is this really review bombing, or is it people just upset?
It's in December of this. No.
And I understand.
Chat, wait, it's December of last. It came out in December, and you know they usually do like the Christmas sale, so probably people got into the game And actually, I can believe that like 100%. If a game is already out and they're not doing anything like care anymore, then maybe bugs will start like popping up that weren't really there. Like I never saw any of the black screens or anything like that. Strange. I know I have that game on my PlayStation. I didn't buy it from Ubisoft, so I'm very curious though actually if it having a lot of issues right now.
Understand, by the way, this is
maybe it's time for me to do some experimentals.
Okay, but still, this shows how little patience people have with Ubisoft in any Assassin's Creed title right now. This is proof of how bad their PR is. There's no reason to feel sorry for them in this situation. People think this is unfair.
This is like the Helldivers 2 thing right here.
Minimum, it doesn't matter if it's Microsoft's fault or Ubisoft's fault. The game is unplayable for a lot of people right now. So that's obviously going to reflect
Ubisoft
on the game itself, and it's going to lead to negative reviews. So it's not necessarily like review bombing out of just spite for something that is nonsensical. They're not getting the experience they have paid for.
Yeah.
And just overall, again, it shows the bad will with Ubisoft.
Well, at least they got it from the bargain bin, though.
Microsoft's fault. It doesn't matter to people. They've just had enough of Ubisoft. But overall, it's just a mess with Ubisoft. The buyout is looming, and things are looking even worse than a lot of people had already suspected. But for now, that's going to do it for this video. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Rev. I'm actually surprised, though, that like the Assassin's Creed Origins, which was a fairly good game that has like all these little details that they put in, like the pyramid thing. I thought that was crazy that because dude, I remember like, man, when did I find that out? Like, I want to say that pyramid thing that happened, man, I was like in like middle school when I found that out, and I was like, the pyramid don't have 4 sides, right? A lot of people were like, Sin, a pyramid has 4 sides, not the one in Egypt. And they always thought I was crazy. And I told them, no, it has more than 4 sides. Like, you guys thought I was crazy for a second too until I showed you that. And you're like, well, that's weird. That pyramid does have actually more than 4 sides. Tell me I don't know shit, chat. You think I'm that crazy? You guys really think I'm that derp? Hi, Lola. Do not answer for chat. But yeah, I'll be honest with you, like, especially with that buyout coming out with Ubisoft, that's probably gonna affect a lot of games though, cause ooh man, I'm kind of okay with that, cause that means we can probably get back Tom Clancy games, fingers crossed, and make them good. That's the one thing I want. They can make a good Tom Clancy because they got that. They're from the book, so they already got the story all written out. It's just them applying it to a video game story format. They already got the big work. It's just concept art and all that stuff they got to work with, and then getting everything to work how it is, and XYZ stuff. I'm hoping maybe we do get those back if they do buy them out. And it's crazy too, because Ubisoft said, "Oh, well, good luck owning your video games," and Rev's like, "Well, good luck not owning your studio." Ooh, man, that is a big burn right there. Not gonna lie, that is a very, very massive burn.